Okay, we are doing this thing. All right. This is my first time being live on YouTube. Fun. So I think I have to scoot my cameras over because I'm going to be looking yonder ways and looking this ways. Okay, this will be fun. I'm live all the time on Instagram, but I've never done this. And I tried live in Facebook the other day and I said, well, shoot, why don't I just put on YouTube and then I can link it in the Facebook and it'd be all over the place. Good morning, salutations, friends. That's my new, what do you call it? Greeting. That's my new greeting. All right. So this morning, I'll still fix this because janky. I can't handle it. Hold on. I got this new camera thingamabob set up. It's like a big ass snake. It goes all the way around. It's holding my phone up like super. I'll get it. Hold on, we good. Okay. All right, that'll work. No, I'll get it one day. All right, today we are still in gate 13, which let me start over. Since this is recorded on YouTube and it'll probably be here forever if I don't delete it. This is still a transit of gate 13 and we're in line 6 today. So every 6 days, the moon goes the sun and the moon. Everything in the heavens is always changing. There's always a different energy of the day. And every 6 days, the sun goes through a different transit, which means a different energy is felt in the collective. So this means if everybody is feeling tense and frustrated, you're like, oh my gosh, what is with this today? What is this energy? Why is everybody so stressed? Why is everybody so frustrated? Why is everybody so whatever? It is the collective feeling of planetary alignment. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not woo woo, it's just, it is. That's what it is. And so today, I have covered this every day on Instagram. But today is the last day of gate 13, and that is the gate of listening with the heart and collecting stories. And so we listen with our ears, right? But this is a different kind of listen. It's listening to what is said and what's not said. It's listening to the spaces in between and getting the real intention of what a person is meaning in their heart when they say something, not just the words. So it's a really good, in a way, it's a really good lie detector because you know when somebody's BSing. You can tell. You can hear it in their voice. You can see it in the way they move their body. It's the ultimate, I know you're saying one thing, but you're thinking this or feeling this. Hey, good morning. All right, so I'm going to go into the 6th line of gate 13. Because every day it's a little different flavor of gate 13. This is the last one. And so the I Ching is where we get the hexagram lines from in human design because it's a layered system. It's the ancient Kabbalah, the I Ching, chakras, you know, a lot of different things blended together to make one system. And so I go to the I Ching to look at the 6th line. And the 6th line today is there's fellowship with convenient associates, but warmth is lacking. A group of cordial people may be neighbors or associates, yet no great purpose unites them. That's okay. Civility may be less connected form of community, but it serves its members all the same. Though the situation may not be terribly satisfying, neither is it a cause for regret. So that's hey, good morning. That's the one version of it. And I'm going to read another one, which is this book is from Cheaton Park, and it's the Book of Lines. And I'm going to read what it says about the 6th line of Gate 13. And it's similar wording. I just love to pull from different sources and then mesh it all together. That way it feels like a core understanding rather than just following one person's book. So in Cheaton Parkins' book, The Book of Lines, 813.6 is expounding universal fellowship, seeking the best in everyone and everything everywhere. Apparently realistic or not, your friendliness looks for the best outcomes in everyone's life. So decisively joining with other people you expect to be able to improve their lives. And I guess the negative will be you believe that by sharing with others, well, that's not a negative. That's the Mercury. You believe that by sharing your interests with others, you will improve any experience. Okay, so that's part of the channel of the 1333. Expounding universal fellowship, seeking the best in everyone and everything everywhere. That is a really good message for today. Group of cordial people that may be neighbors, associates, but nothing great unites them. Okay, so what holds us all together today? That's kind of the energy. That that is the energy of the 13.6. So the theme for today would be like look through the day and find a universal thread. What's pulling us all together? And I'm going to go over baby astrologist. Don't come at me. I'm simply learning. I'm simply looking at the sun gate, the moon gate, and looking at the natal chart for today. Because the celestial forecast is usually brought by Bella, but it's not up. So I'm winging it again. And this is kind of fun because it's teaching me to look at the chart and be like, okay, what do I see instead of what somebody else sees? So let's go there. The sun, we talked about, sun on gate 13. The moon is in 40. So let's have a look at 40 and see what it has to say. The moon is all about our emotions, being sensitive to that. And gate 40 is all about father energy. So it's balance and relaxation. Um, some fathers have been known to be too strict and too overbearing, and some have been known to be not present at all. So we're not talking about your actual father. We're talking about father energy that is very much you can depend on it. It's trusted in the community. People trust ethics, know they can count on it. So we're talking about like ideal father energy, not your actual father's energy. There's an let's see. The well-being of the community depends on people like the father. So if we relate father energy of service, boundaries, knowing that God has your back, so you could do anything, good work ethic, very generous. Let's see, lots of fruitfulness with solid, consistent work. So that's the energy of like father energy, what I'm talking about. So if we can apply that to our emotions today in the moon, right? Because we're coming out of the Leo full moon. If we can apply this steady, consistent resolve, let's just put the word resolve into our emotions. And actually, Jinky 40 is Virgo, and we're in a Virgo moon. Look at me figuring all this out on my own. Yippee-ki-yay, go me. So I would say that today the moon would be very complimentary. It would be very because Virgo, let's look up what moon in Virgo is. This is fun. I love an adventure. This is not going to let me move my screen over here. Very interesting. Okay. Moon in Virgo is this celestial forecast is brought to a baby astrologer who knows absolutely nothing, but is learning along the way. Moon in Virgo is feeling confident and you've straightened out all the details in everyday life. Many of them enjoy running errands, paying bills, balancing the books. Okay, so this is that same father energy. That's what a good father does. It is very, what did we say the keywords were? Resolve, um, service, and boundaries, and lots of balance. So this is our emotional center today. In a weird way, if you pair that together, it's I feel very in contemplating this very stable and very relaxed emotionally today. So see if we compare that with a 13.6 of um, looking for the tie that binds us in a very calm and relaxed way. What are some things that we see that can unite all of us together? See if you see that today out and about. Mm, see if we pick up anything else or if that's good. Okay, so the shadow aspect today would be giving too much of yourself and becoming unstable emotionally. Yeah. So don't overgive. Make sure that you're keeping balance today in the emotional realm, not overgiving too much, but being support and service to others and just seeing where you can. So if you're looking for the thread that connects all of us, maybe there's a spot that you can fill in, plug in, and say, okay, I can offer some resolve, some steadiness, some balance, that good father energy in, plug that in, and it kind of just ties the whole group together. Now, I have no idea if an actual professional astrologer would agree with that reading, but that's what I come up with it. And that sounds like a very good theme for today. So we're going to go with it. Okay, so that's the kind of moon energy for today. And salutations if you're just coming in. That's my new favorite group. So we did the moon. So let's see what grounds us today. So unlocked in our emotional status. Ooh, that alpha. Okay. Gate 7 is all about um, it's leadership and it's pretty bold. And maybe that's a little bit of that. We're still hanging in with that Leo stuff, but let's see where the Earth is today. Oh yeah, that's why. Okay, perfect. So the Earth is in Leo today in the second house. Go me. And Leo, the line energy. Okay, so that's what grounds us today is the alpha. It's the innate impulse to lead. And it is interaction, future, and embodiment. It's like, I know there's a better future. But the thing is with this one, you have to be chosen to lead. You can't just bulldoze your way in. You have to lead people because you're doing it. So if you notice that other people today are just out of whack and not in balance, then you ground in boldness and stability, and you yourself ground because that's earth energy. You ground in and make yourself solid that you're going to be the leader. You're going to lead the collective in a forward direction and be bold about it. And that is very grounding for today. So this is fun. We're still being very. Let's see if we can tie the sun, moon, and earth together, and get us a theme for today. So we're still listening with our full body. We're being, in a way, empathetic, not emotionally, but we're listening. We're listening with our ears, and we're listening with our heart. We're grounded with strong lioness energy, so that we can lead others with our stability and our emotions that pack all of this, that make all of us up, is very balanced and relaxed. So if we lead others with this energy today, if we start our day like this, then we can't help but influence others. And that's what we're here to do is every single day. That's what I'm here for anyways. Every single day I want to start my day off in a good routine with the right attitude so that when I go out and the chaos of the world hits me in the face like a brick, I'm like, oh yeah, what was I supposed to do today? Oh yeah, okay, good. All right, I'm grounding like this and I'm behaving like this, and this is the temperature today. So there is your celestial forecast brought to you by Baby Astrologer. Okay, that is so fun. Let's see. Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Let's sit and take a second. Let me recalibrate. I am still so tickled that this is working out. I did not think that I would get my butt up in the mornings and get dressed all the way to shoes, hair, makeup by 7 in the morning and be ready to kick out the door because I'm a homeschool mama. Don't do that. All y'all homeschool mamas know what I'm talking about. It's like, well, we're just here. And so now my kids are a little bit older and they're able to help with things. They can run, like one of them's working full time, the other can run, stable. I don't have to watch them. And I guess I just never thought that I would get my shit together. And I do want to sympathize that if you have the tiny tots running around and they're pulling your hair out, you this was a thing from yesterday. Because I'm listening, get some help. Don't be chicken ass. Don't be afraid to ask for help and have somebody else come in. Because I was talking about this with somebody and I said, it's not fair. What we're doing to ourselves is not fair. We're not meant to be single solitude mothers and single solitude fathers that just, what I mean is like the unit of the family, the mother and the father, and we take care of everything. The father goes off to work, the mother takes care of everything else. And it's not meant to be like that. We're meant to have the tribe. We're meant to have a couple of aunts and grandmas and women who don't have children taking care and helping with our kids and all of us sharing our junk together, you know? And this is so unfair, the pressure that we put on ourselves. We are a society of anxiety and stress. It shouldn't even be there. And so you, mama, if you're not at the place where you have a routine and you have a schedule, 'cause some moms are great at it. And I like, hats off to you. I don't know how you do it. But there's so many women who don't have kids who can help. And so even me, now that my kids are older, I'm like, well, I'll take the tiny for a little bit because I enjoy it. And I know there's other women who, I know there's other women, and it kind of bothers me when I see older women very self-absorbed, and then I see other moms, young moms, who are their thread has been pulled apart, and they have one little hair sticking up, and they're hanging on by that one little hair. I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Where is everybody at trying to help each other? And this is my gripe about churches. I did not plan on going this direction, but it's just pouring out of me. This is my gripe about churches: is there's so many people in a church. Why are we struggling at all anywhere? At all. There should be a need. Bam. You're talking about a church of 50 people. So what? A church of 500 people. So what? It's like gripe, gripe, gripe. Anyways, because a mother cannot feel happy and fulfilled if she has nothing in her cup. And she can't even fill her cup up because she's so busy with the needs of the kids. And I the automatic reaction is, well, the dad should help. The dad should help to an extent, but it's not his job. This is my opinion, so take it for what it's worth. It's not his job to come in and pick up everything for the mama. I feel like as women, we should all be doing the women's stuff. And if the man, so go with me here on this thread. So like if the man's working late hours, he should have another man help him with his work so that he gets home at like 5 or 6 or 7 instead of 10 at night. See what I'm saying? Because in his mind, he's like, I have to take care of my family. I need to be working. And then he's like, if I get off early, I'm not making money to support you. So the man's thought process, I need to go collect food. I need to go defend the tribe, that kind of thing. And so men need to be helping men, women need to be helping women. And then also, of course, husband and wives share responsibility. If the mom's like, I really need you to do this X, Y, and Z, cut out space and time for me so I can go off and do this, then that still plugs in. That's still a factor. It's just that we don't help each other. We're all like so self-absorbed. Oh, oh, that's gate 13.6 coming through. I'm listening. Haha, that's so funny. Sorry. Just got it. Like smashed me in the head. That is that whole thread of the collective where there's a need. Okay, that's kind of fun how that happened. Yeah, so okay, so what we're looking for today is stuff like that. That very thing. It's like the whole collective. There's a hole, and there's a little space that needs to be filled in. So if you figure that out, if you find it, say something, make a post, or say something, or do something about it. You don't have to just because sometimes words are empty. Maybe fill the space. Maybe I'm talking to myself here, and I am trying to do that. But all of us need to do it, right? We need to support each other and you know fill in the gaps for others, so the mamas don't just crumble. I told this mama, I said, "Okay, you're 28." I said, "It happened at me at 30. You keep this up, and you're gonna crash." And then you're caught having to clean up the mess and having to repair everything. Oh, thank you. Velvet is my favorite. I think if I could have anything in my wardrobe, it would be velvet everything in different colors. So if you're just catching up, if you're just coming in, today is all about. Let me see if I can tie the thing together. Like there's a thread in humanity, and you're looking for the gaps to fill in. How we can, what was the word? It was we're looking for a purpose that unites us. Looking through the community and seeing. I don't like the way that one's worded. I really like the way this one is worded. We're seeking the best in everyone and everything everywhere. It's universal fellowship. So it's looking to where this one is more about like improving, and this one said a purpose that's uniting us. So we're looking where we can come together. If we're coming together, there's a hole there. So we're looking for the hole and bridging it together. And so I was talking about like moms having all the work and it's just not fair. That's where if you're caught up now. All right. So that was funny how that just came in all of a sudden. I guess that was what was needed in my heart. Now see, y'all tell me where you feel we have a gap. Because this is story time. This is secret time. I love secrets. I love stories. I love listening to the heart. That is because I have channel 1333. This is my expertise. This is my specialty, is listening to stories because I collect them. We go through the past. We sift through the stories. I collect them like a little pirate, stuffing them in my treasure box, and then I pull them out when I need to so that we can change the future. And actually, we talked a great deal about this yesterday. I say we, as in me plus different people. Times. It was a theme of the sixth line invocation in our jinky because it is a very far out ideal and it's almost utopia. It's almost like, well, of course, it's not here yet. Nobody understands it. And if you have the sixth line, you get it. And if you don't have the sixth line, you kind of scratch your head and like, well, that's just kind of fairy tale thinking, or that's just, utopia is just a good word to describe it because it's like, yeah, okay, good. Like a lot of philanthropy, a lot of giving money to places to better the entire system. It's not charity. It's really just like, let's change the entire thing. We can see all of the incorrectness is the word that just came up. It's so incorrect. And so we see, here's a thing that needs to be fixed. How do we rewire and make a whole different system. And we're right now where we're at, we don't really our systems are still in place. Financial system, education system, medical system, all of the systems. They're all still locked in. And there has to be a bit of crumbling for us to rebuild them. And that's what the sixth line is here for. And that's what projectors are here for. It's like we can see this very clearly. We know what to do, but it's hard to put it into words, and it's definitely hard to put it into action because it's not time yet. But it is getting close to being time. It's like we're on this precipice of, like 2020 kind of pushed us into it. There's a gap between love and work. Ooh, that's deep. People compromise in their happiness to make money and only have fun on the weekends, and that makes you sad. Okay, that's deep and so true. And that was the thing about Monday morning, the Monday morning blues. I feel like with yesterday, I didn't record this on the YouTube. I'm recording this on YouTube, by the way. If you're watching me here, I'm over here too. So I'm glad I'm going to start recording these because I will pick up a theme. And yeah, if y'all watch this, you will pick up the theme and remember it. But yesterday I was talking about going out and listening and to help somebody and not letting their frustration and their anger and their bitterness and their negativity affect you. Because I knew, well, that was the energy of the day, but also on a Monday morning, I knew if you go outside, you're going to be smacked in the face with negativity because it's a Monday morning and everybody's in the workforce, right? Force. You're forcing the work. That's the whole word magic. I love word magic. Words are my favorite. I love words. I love adjectives. I love languages. I love listening to languages. That's my okay, tangent. Squirrel. Getting back to it. So your comment is so important, Michelle. So you see a need in your people, in your fractal line, in your tribe of people. It's like we need to put love into work. And I think a lot of us are kind of getting there. And I know there's a lot of shit going about the coaching industry, but the whole idea of coaching and getting people out of corporate and into what they love, beautiful. It just needs to be cleaned up a little bit because there's a lot of shitty people out there doing shitty things. But I know there's a lot of not shitty people doing some amazing work. And that, I think that piece comes into kind of the, like, I don't want to sound too new agey or new world order or anything like that, but I really feel like there's a chance that we can go to that because I'm have hope, motivation. I'm eternally positive and eternally happy. And so I have to believe in that. I can't go into like, oh, if a system starts to crumble, let's just take the medical system because everybody's kind of like, oh, this sucks. Like we do not love the way the medical system works these days. It is so unfeeling, uncaring, in and out, pop a pill and done. Like everybody can agree on that, right? We don't like how it's done. But in order for change to happen, we have to have that system crumble. And there's chaos in that, right? That's scary. But for me, I'm looking already at the other side. I'm looking through the chaos and being like, okay, but when we rebuild it back, what are we rebuilding it into? Like, it's going to be so much better. We have to. Like, we can't not fix it. Okay. Well, the same thing, if you look back at 2020, and this is like in line with what you're saying, Michelle, is like we all realized that we could work from home. What? Not we all, because there's a lot of labor. A lot of people realize that they can work from home. A lot of the kids realize they can do school from home because of the internet. Okay, well then all of a sudden we're like, ooh, we have to go back and do this corporate job or this job that we really do not like at all, and they woke a lot of people up. So, but in order for that to happen, we had to go through all the bullshit of the pandemic, right? So it's like, wait, what did you say about happiness? You said people compromising their happiness. Okay, so for me, the key to happiness is to realize that this is me looking at the bright part, the bright light. Even though we went through that, we figured out that we have a new job the one that we like. And it takes a little bit of time to figure it out, and then you have to kind of start over. And running a business is not easy. I've been we, not me, but we've been an entrepreneur. We've been entrepreneurs since 2007. So I know running a business is not easy. Starting from scratch is difficult, but there's happiness in it because it's your own thing. It's your own empire you're building, and you're not beholden or beholden to somebody else. The school system needs changing too, and yeah, for many ways was a blessing. Yeah, I mean, it was it was a miserable. It sent me into a lot of pain, but then what come out of it was a lot of clarity. We're like, oh my goodness, we didn't know this was possible. Let's fix this. A lot of people started homeschooling. A lot of people, blah, blah, blah. So with the school system, I have told people, I have told a couple people about this now because I really think this is a good idea and I hope somebody else takes it. It's not my job to do. I'm not a generator. I don't have the sacral energy to do everything. So somebody else can just take this and run with it. But I've been talking about the private schools using human design. And I'm probably going to keep talking about it until somebody picks it up and runs with it because it's a really good idea. If you think about it, now it has to be done right, and the human design experts would know what I'm talking about. Like it would be based for me. I'm looking at through like environment, so it would have different. Some people from the outside might look like it's segregating the mind. It's like you can't block people because it puts them in a block. And human design is not about putting you in a box at all. It's about freeing you. So there might be some people who don't understand it at first, like why would you group these kids this way if they're looking from the outside? But let's say um, you had mountain environment, you would want to put the kids up on the second level of the building. It's just the way they absorb information better, right? Um, and then you might have energy types where they spend time with each other or they're just in a class by themselves. So it would probably be a big school because if you blocked off kids in this way, and here's the fun thing, it it didn't it doesn't necessarily have to be by grade because now we categorize kids in like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. So what I think would be cool is you could mesh in grade 2 and grade 3 together. You could mesh in like grade 4th and 5th, maybe 3rd. It wouldn't necessarily be, you know, by age or by grade. It would be more of like kind of like a scale. And then you put them in the environment that they need. And then the fun thing is, and this is the way kids learn really great, is there would be no competition. If a younger kid didn't understand it, but the older kid did, he could tutor and help the younger kid. Like I'm talking about a year or two difference on this one thing. And then the teacher's like, okay, let's switch gears. And we're still in, let's just stay with the mountain environment. So they're on like the second level. They're all in the flow together. And um, because that's kind of the way homeschool does. It's like if you have a kid or two that see year apart, you can kind of teach them the same thing, the same topic, and then you give them a worksheet that's a little bit different. Maybe one's a little bit more advanced, but you're still on the same topic, and there's just so much like flexibility in it. And then I saw on TikTok a teacher. She said that she gave her kids the opportunity to turn them in early instead of like, here's the date, here's when it's due. That's the end of it. She would give the kids the opportunity to submit it, and then if she had feedback on it, she wouldn't grade it, but she would hand it back and say, "Here's what I would do for this, redo it, and then resubmit it." And just stuff like that. It's kind of like this would only work for private school. The whole public system would, butt it out, but it would kind of be like homeschool, but with private school structure. So you've got a lot of kids that aren't family. I still like that. I think it's beneficial. It gives us social time, right? A lot of co-ops do this with homeschool. So this isn't, like, crazy. So I do like the idea of, having a school. That's fine. It's not like I'm totally against, having public education, but it's gotta be rewired completely. And then, like, playtime for some might be longer. It's like generators or manifesting generators, they might need more wiggle time, and the projector kids might need not necessarily a nap, but they might just need quiet time, and it might be just as long as the kids are outside playing, but they have the choice. So it's not, like, rigid. You can say, "You wanna sit down and play with some blocks quietly," or whatever, and for the busy kids, the ones that have a lot of energy, like, do you wanna go run on the track more? Because 'cause as a teacher, they would know each of the kids' design, basically. So, how wonderful would it be if all kids knew human design and the Jinkies? How empowered would children be? How much less conditioning and programming they would have to be conditioned from? Yes, I think that's what we're heading for. If we can make human design as streamlined as trying to think. Like everybody kind of knows, like, oh, what's your sign? What's your zodiac? Well, if everybody understood the word human design, even if they didn't know it, the system, even if like, oh yeah, it's that thing, if make it that common, um, gosh, that would be. I think that's what we're going to. Let's just make that plan in our heads. um, and if all of us about our kids, heck yes, and I say this all the time. I'm so glad I found it when I did because my kids were in teenager age going into that, and I completely changed myself right at the perfect pivot point before it got tense and possibly icky. So if I had learned it when I was a younger mom, it would have been amazing because I have a very vocal manifesting generator and a very quiet and wise generator. And I always knew they were so very different. But if I had their charts back then, I was like, oh my goodness. And it wouldn't really have changed much with my generator daughter. I probably would have done things pretty much the same. She's self parented, she self led herself. Like she didn't need direction. But my son, I have been the one that I need to like repent in human design language of telling him he's too much, telling him he's too loud 'cause I'm a projector, right? So I'm the mom that's like, "Ah, you're blowing my circuits every day." His emotions are so intense. His reactions are intense. Everything is like loud and over the top. He takes it too far every single time. There's a line, he'll hop over it, cross it, laugh, and just keep going until everything blows up. So he's the one that I really wish that I had learned human design when he was tiny because I feel bad. I don't wanna be the person that said, "You're too much, you're too much." So now I try to tell him, like, explode, like, bring all your emotions out. It's fine, but give me some warning or let's, like, lower your voice a little bit, but talk it all out. Like, he's just so a lot. But in the same sense, he's gonna be one of these kids, he's got it all over his chart where, like, he's a green line. He'll experiment with everything. He'll fail so many times, but he will always come out on top. That is his he is just a hoot. So, I know there's a lot of moms that look at their kids and like, "I don't understand." I have one kid who's, like, so easy, and then you've got the other kid, and I've noticed it's not just, like, I don't wanna shit on manifesting generators. Emotional projectors, very difficult because we don't understand. And they'll just scream. The babies and toddlers will just literally scream all the time. That is their language. It's just screaming everything out and throw themselves on the floor. And I see it, and I'm thinking, man, if parents knew their kids overstimulated, they're taking on everything from everybody else, or they're just feeling a lot and they can't help it. Like they're gonna be like this all day long, every day. It's not something they eat. It's not a food sensitivity. It's not an imbalance. It's like their energy flow is nuts. It's just very much um, a lot of passion and a lot of and they don't know how to get it out other than to verbalize it because 'cause they'll explode otherwise. As a kid, they don't know how to talk all this out, and so they just scream. It's hilarious. So, it's not just one type. It's all of us have parents with different designs, and we have children with different designs, and then trying to figure all of this out, it's a hot mess. Oh my goodness. It's already 8:40. I went on, like, a whole kid tangent right there, but oh, maybe that was the gap that we're filling with the human designing kids. That is a gap that fills in the thread of humanity. It brings us together as a community for friendship and love. Oh gosh. Okay, let me shake all that off because that's a lot. I've learned that's a new trait for me. If ever I collect a lot and I start feeling busy, then I just move around, shake it off, and take a deep breath and reset. And that sounds so lame, but I do. I'm a collector of energy. I'm the one that feels and experiences everything, and then soaks it all up, and then I have to remember, oh yeah, that's not mine. Let it go. Let it go. Okay. Let's see. What else needs to come through for today? Oh, you know what? That's funny. We're grounded in we know a better future. This is hilarious. We're grounded in um gate 7, which is the earth energy for today, and it's all about stability. So everything that I'm talking about is giving us stability, like setting a foundation for our kids. Talking about a private school, that's foundation for our kids. Everything that we're going for today is like we're going for a better future. And let's see, virtue and guidance. That is, but I do feel very grounded, actually. I love this. This is in such alignment with today's theme for today. And the programming partner of Gate 7 is Gate 13, which, we're listening for all these things today. So have lots of empathy. Listen for discord. Listen for when things are not. It's almost like static. That was the visual that I just got. Listen and look and feel for static today. Because if there's static electricity in people's interactions with each other, they're not connected. They're not in love for humanity. They're not feeling all this happy-go-lucky stuff that I pour out, right? So see if you can bridge that gap for people. But joining your strategy, your projector, wait to be asked. Don't come bulldozing in like a projector because that annoys people. Trust me, I know. Let your aura do the talking. Let your love do the talking, and see if that opens the door. And if you notice doors, like you can't see it on Instagram because um, it's very narrow. But when I do Facebook Lives and on YouTube, my webcam is super wide, and you can see two doors. And it's because I have made myself a little room, a little gateway, and I'm in my own time portal. I just realized that today because I always go on Zoom and Instagram, and I don't know why, but it just does like a little. It does perfect. It's like this. Wait, hang on. It's like this. That's all you see. But on this one on YouTube and Facebook, it's this. And so I was like, oh, I guess everybody gets to see my portal because I have 35.5 as my design sun and earth, and I can't remember all the terminology. There's somewhere I think maybe it's in 5. I'll have to get my book out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like wormholes and miracles, and so I like made myself a quantum little a quantum uh a portal to pass through. I just think that's a kick. I get so tickled. All right. I feel complete. I think we've covered the theme for today very well. Yes, I do. I feel good. And I hope y'all do too. And Let's see. How do we wrap it up? Let's think. Is there anything else? Yep. Just use your listening to pick up on any static for today. See if there's anything that you can um, lead with nice, stable, grounding, relaxed energy and input some wisdom in there for somebody. That's how we'll wrap it up. All right. I hope y'all have a good day, and I will see you tomorrow.